This is News 8 Now, this morning.
Children's area and the adults, the teenage area books, the history room. I hope they come in here and they leave with what they want to find.
One of the ways the play resonates is that we are emerging from a global pandemic and a great catastrophe of sorts. The play is deeply resonant on that level. We can connect with these characters and what they're going through.
We just like to get hands-on experience, get the kids and families really involved with healthy ingredients and food and produce and nature.
That is a preview of what we've got coming up for you here on News 8 Now this morning. I want to thank you for joining us, and good morning to you on this November 4th, 2022. I'm Jordan Fremstad.
And I'm Derek Sibley.
Well, Derek, we finally got some rain to talk about, but this week, pretty spoiled for the month of October and November.
Yeah, it was pretty warm out there, Jordan. Abnormally warm for this time of year, and now we're going to start to feel some cooler differences on the way. And we're also watching some wetter conditions as well to move in. You can see Trempealeau County and also west towards Winona County looking at some showers here that continue to move east through your area, and even Fillmore County as well. Not just rain, but also some thunderstorms here back towards the southwest, continuing to move towards the east. The rest of us, if we're not looking at rain, well, you are looking at cloudy skies. We will all be looking at rain, though, come later today. There's plenty of more of that towards the southwest that continues to move towards the northeast. Temperatures are much cooler into the west of the 40s. Temperature readings warmer into the 60s, which makes sense of why our temperature map here is divided between cooler differences towards the west and warmer differences there towards the east. But everyone's going to be looking a lot cooler here come later this morning, and especially into the afternoon when temperatures drop into the 40s. And at the same time, it's going to be very wet. We expect very good rain chances throughout the day, and some of that rain could also turn heavy at times as well come this afternoon and also into this evening. We'll talk more about this in just a bit, Jordan.
All right, looking forward to that. Thanks a lot for that update, Derek. Well, we begin this morning in La Crosse. The La Crosse County Medical Examiner has released the cause of death for two men pulled from two different rivers. According to an autopsy report, 25-year-old Hamoud Fall died of drowning, and at the time of his death had a high level of alcohol in his system. Fall disappeared last February. Firefighters found his body nearly a month later in the Mississippi River. According to the autopsy, investigators do not believe his death was the result of foul play. The Democratic candidate for Wisconsin's 3rd Congressional District is bringing in an old friend during the final stretch before elections. Outgoing 3rd Congressional Representative Ron Kind joined Brad Pfaff at a campaign event in La Crosse. Kind decided to not seek re-election after more than 20 years in Congress. Pfaff's opponent, Republican Derek Van Orden, narrowly lost to Kind 2 years ago, and Kind says Pfaff is the kind of person voters should be sending to the House.
We need more Brad Pfaffs in Washington and Madison these days than what we're getting with these other candidates. And unfortunately, I'm afraid Derek Van Orden fits that other category. When I ran against him 2 years ago and throughout the course of this campaign, it's been nothing but attack politics. He views politics as a blood sport.
Brad Pfaff also criticized his opponent for not agreeing to a debate. In a statement to News 8 Now, Van Orden's campaign said instead of holding press conferences, he goes to where the people are. The race for Wisconsin governor is now the most expensive in state history. According to the Wisconsin Democracy Campaign, spending by both Governor Tony Evers and Republican challenger Tim Michels totaled nearly $115 million. That tops the previous record set in 2018 of $93 million, and that doesn't include spending between now and Election Day. The city of Minneapolis has a new police chief. The city council unanimously approved the mayor's nominee, Brian O'Hara. O'Hara had been serving as deputy mayor of Newark, New Jersey. Newark has seen a significant decrease in crime credited to a street team task force O'Hara started that relies on community citizens and local leaders.
I think his sincerity, his humility, his experience, his tenure on the job, and what he brings with him from the state of New Jersey is going to be valuable to us here in Minneapolis.
O'Hara will serve as the chief through January of 2026. An opportunity so many of us take for granted, the story about a man who will be casting his vote for the first time, and the people in Madison who helped make his dream come true. Talil Mohildeen has the story.
you speak Spanish, it's easy for me.
For Sergio Javier Lucero, speaking Spanish is the natural choice.
Tú me hablaste cuando llamé por primera vez.
But he's been focusing on his English lately.
I'm very working hard too. Yeah, I had 2 jobs, but in my break, I studying, I stay all the time.
Originally from Peru, Sergio moved here 20 years ago.
My family always citizenship. So we say, why you know citizenship?
With that push from his family, in May, Sergio got involved with the Literacy Network's free citizenship class in Madison. By summer, his dream became a reality.
He was a force for good in class. He would help other people.
Ruth Robart has helped immigrants learn to read and write English for the past 12 years. 90 of her students have become citizens.
I look at my students as really the future of our country.
She says for many of her students, becoming an American comes with a sense of duty.
They say over and over again when they finally pass their interview and get to go have the oath, this is so good for my family and it's good for my country.
In 1 week, Sergio will help shape the future of his new country, speaking not through his newfound voice, but through his newfound right at the ballot box for the very first time.
I have family, more family here. I have grandchildren. I want my grandchildren stay better in the United States, receive more benefits, more opportunities.
Teachers at the Literacy Network say this year alone they have helped almost 30 students, immigrants and refugees from all over the world, become citizens. Well, nominations are open for La Crosse's Martin Luther King Jr. Scholarship Award. Between now and November 30th, you can nominate a local leader who you think is committed to building community, enhancing diversity, and working for justice. We'll post more info at news8000.com. The winner will be announced on January 16th. Firearm deer hunting season is just around the corner, and Wisconsin DNR officials are offering safety reminders before the hunt. Conservation wardens say it's important for hunters to treat every gun like it's loaded and to double check it's clean and clear of any mechanical wear. They say visibility is also crucial.
Hunters must wear at least 50% of their outer clothing above the waist in color orange or fluorescent pink.
That rule also applies to headwear. Firearm deer hunting season starts November 19th and runs through the 27th. Wilson also asks that you make sure to get permits worked out before heading out and to watch for no trespassing signs. Well, it may not feel like it. The temperatures have been in the upper 60s, but winter and the holidays are right around the corner. On Thursday, the city's already started putting up holiday decorations, wreaths hanging from streetlights in Onalaska, and in La Crosse, snowflakes dangle from downtown lights. Now, if you're excited for the holiday season, not to worry. Christmas is just 52 days away. It will go fast. A local nonprofit is helping La Crosse kids put their culinary creativity to the test. Grow has launched its 5th annual Kids Cooking Challenge. Kids 18 and under prepare a dish using a bag of mystery ingredients grown right here in La Crosse. Those kids picked up their mystery ingredient bags on Thursday. There are beginner and advanced groups for this challenge, so ingredients get a little trickier for the advanced groups. But the goal is to have fun while engaging with healthy produce.
We just like to get hands-on experience, get the kids and families really involved with healthy ingredients and food and produce and nature.
What are you going to make with that?
I don't know.
You must use all the ingredients in the bag and up to 5 outside ingredients. Participants have until midnight Sunday to complete their dish by themselves. Students at Western Technical College will help decide the winners between the beginner and advanced groups. That's on November 11th. Still to come here on your Friday morning news, despite inflation, holiday sales have increased and will continue throughout the holiday season. We'll explain. And rideshare company Lyft plans on laying off a handful of their drivers. We'll explain why coming up after the break. With that in mind, we're sending you to break with something to put the good in your Friday morning. A priest from Wisconsin is proving you are never too old to compete. Father Dale Gruba is getting ready to hand cycle the New York City Marathon on Sunday. 7 days a week. You can find Dale cycling throughout Princeton, Wisconsin. He has participated in marathons for 42 years and is an athlete in every sense of the word. With a firm grip on competitive racing, Father Gruba is closing in now on 86 marathons, 22 of which have been completed from the driver's seat. This Sunday, he is taking his sermon to the streets of New York City, wheeling his way to yet another photo finish. Wishing him all the best from here at News 8 Now. It is 10 after the hour. We got your latest forecast coming up after the break.
Well, we continue to watch some showers that move across the portions of the Coulee region now. Some heavier activity concentrated across portions of central Trempealeau, westward towards portions of Winona County, and also very heavy rain here across portions of Fillmore County. In fact, really all of Fillmore is looking at some heavy rain here. Areas like Preston, Highway 52, looking at some of that wet conditions now. The rest of us, if you're not looking at rain, well, you're just looking very cloudy here this morning with current temperature readings into the 50s for many locations. But these temperature readings, though, are dropping currently as we speak, with much cooler air back towards the west. Current readings just west of the Mississippi into the 40s. Your schoolcast this morning does call for some cloudy skies, maybe a slight chance of a shower out there, but by the lunch hour, it's going to be pretty wet, 49 degrees, and a lot of rain here by dismissal by the afternoon. Temperatures then around 47 degrees. We'll have a check on the full weather forecast coming up in just a bit.
Despite high inflation, it doesn't look like families are skipping out on gifts this year. The National Retail Federation predicts sales for the November and December shopping months will be between $942 billion and $960 billion. Shoppers will likely lean on credit cards or savings to afford some of these purchases. Still, holiday sales have already gotten a boost ahead of schedule due to retailers starting their deals a lot earlier. CVS and Walmart have agreed to pay a combined $10 billion to settle lawsuits brought by states and local governments. They have accused them of mishandling opioid prescriptions. The agreements will not be finalized until the state and local governments all sign off. While both companies say they have launched new opioid educational programs, neither CVS nor Walmart is admitting any wrongdoing. Lyft said it will lay off 13% of its staff for nearly 700 employees on Thursday. Lyft's co-founders said the layoffs will impact every part of the company. They said they're facing a probable recession next year and rideshare insurance costs are going up. They say they worked hard to bring down costs last summer by slowing and then freezing hiring. The move comes as a number of tech companies reported slowing growth as advertisers and customers rethink spending. More people across the U.S. are waiting longer to purchase a place to live. The number of first-time home buyers fell to an all-time low of 26% for the year-long period that ended this June. Officials say the average age for the first-time home buyer has gone up to 36, 3 years older than the year before. Among the factors, researchers say higher home prices, escalating interest rates, and a drop in consumer income all play a role in this decline. Hopefully some good economic news will come out later today. The U.S. jobs report comes out this morning, and economists expect it to show growth. However, Amy Kyler reports that news follows a painful week.
Today's jobs report caps off a rough week for finances. The Federal Reserve voted to raise interest rates by 3/4 of a point yesterday. That was expected, so here's the real news.
We still have some ways to go.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell says more hikes are needed to reach the target of 2% inflation.
Incoming data since our last meeting suggests that the ultimate level of interest rates will be higher than previously expected.
The Fed might not be content with how its rate hikes are slowing inflation, but they're starting to affect one industry in particular, real estate.
In my career, I've never seen such a strong change in a market from the first half of the year to the second half of the year.
Between the Fed and high demand, Mortgage rates have more than doubled this year. They hit a 2-decade high a couple weeks ago before ticking down slightly last week.
Many buyers right now are readjusting their expectations about what they're able to afford.
High rates also affect credit cards, and it looks like more shoppers will rely on those this holiday season. The National Retail Federation predicts sales will be up 6 to 8% over last year. Some economic analysts hope a season of financial pain will result in a happier new year.
While everyone will feel higher borrowing costs, they're also already feeling the effects of too high inflation.
Today's jobs report is expected to show growth after that painful financial week.
Showers are moving through the Coulee region currently as we speak, and we are currently watching areas like Trempealeau and Black River Falls in Jackson County here as they continue to watch some showers move into their neighborhood. Meanwhile, if you are currently in Winona County and also in Fillmore, eastward into Houston County, you are getting some rainy conditions currently, even some rumbles of thunder, some lightning here activity currently being detected in Preston here this morning as well. But if you're not seeing rain, you're just looking at mainly cloudy weather conditions that continue to move in across the region. And again, this is really associated with this cold front here at the surface combined with what's happening in the upper levels of the atmosphere too. A very strong upper level trough of low pressure to our west does exist, and this is moving our way, and you can see plenty of moisture continues to move towards the north across the upper Midwest, and that is going to fuel a lot of the rain, even some thunderstorms here for today to work with. 53 degrees, some light rain here at the airport, northwest winds at around 9 miles an hour. Temperatures downtown just about a degree warmer at 54. In Eau Claire, the rain pretty much has stopped. You're getting a bit of a break. It's cloudy though, 46 degrees, and west-northwest winds at around 16 miles an hour. Temperatures across the rest of the area mainly into the 50s and 60s further east, but we're looking at the 40s back towards the west, just west of the river, and we expect those temperature readings to continue to drop throughout the day with good rain chances pretty much all day long. Maybe a good idea to kind of stay inside and work on some indoor activities because a lot of rain will continue to move north across the region throughout the day today and also well into this evening, and another round kind of moves to the north as we head into the overnight hours as that axis of the low pressure system will be just off to the south and continue to move north. Now ahead of it continue to spread lots of heavy rainfall over the next 24 to 36 hours especially. We will be looking at the center of the low here kind of passing just over the Coulee region by tomorrow afternoon, so we still will be looking at some rain here as well. It's really not until later in the day tomorrow afternoon around 5 or 6 p.m. where most of that rain does lift north as a low pulls to the north, but conditions will remain cloudy in the wake of that system through Saturday night. Now rainfall totals do look pretty significant around here, at least between 1 to 2 inches of rain. Locally higher totals also possible in some of those heavier showers, and especially anywhere central and south. That's kind of where the models are picking up on anywhere between just over 2 inches of rain could become a possibility, in some cases nearing that 3-inch mark here too. So something to keep in mind on because we could be looking at some localized street flooding with some of those rainfall totals. So we'll keep our eyes on that here between today and also into the day tomorrow. Now we're going to dry out here on Sunday, and don't forget we fall back an hour here too. But we will be looking at dry conditions lasting into Monday as well. And election day looking cloudy, 56 degrees, warming up to 64 on Wednesday, a chance of showers on Thursday, and we may even see some of that precipitation kind of try to mix in with some snow early on the day on Friday. But we will be back with much more news and weather still to come here on News 8 Now this morning. For now, though, we're sending you to break with a look at what happened on this day in history here on November 4th. We'll be right back. Well, we continue to watch rain come down in portions of our central and western locations, and this rain here is moving its way towards the east. So we will be looking at some more rain back towards the west that will continue to move in later today. Those of us that are not seeing rain currently are just looking mainly cloudy. Temperatures are at 59 in Sparta, 54 degrees in Black River Falls, 53 in La Crosse, but 46, much cooler though if you're in Eau Claire this morning. Dog walking conditions later this morning do look a little bit wet, and that rain will continue, unfortunately, for the afternoon and also into the evening, so make sure to pack that umbrella and poncho if you and your furry friend are taking that walk. I'll be back with your commute forecast in just a bit.
Welcome to the Blitz. Is your standard round of 18 holes taking too long? If so, we may have found a solution. I spoke with one local golfer who's found an efficient yet successful way to cruise the course. Playing 18 holes of golf is a relaxing day for most. It's a chance to catch up with some friends, have a few drinks, share some laughs. But for Luther Olson, it's golf, just faster.
I get back home and I just Googled golfing, running, and speedgolfusa.com came out.
And that's when it all clicked for Luther. 3 years ago, the Holman resident decided to combine two of his hobbies, golf and running.
I get to play golf and I get done in an hour rather than 4 hours, which is great for family. I have a 9 and 11-year-old, and time with them is very valuable. I can't spend 4 hours on the course multiple times a week.
It's not your old-fashioned gentleman's game. Instead, speed golf combines the player's score with the time it takes to finish the round.
You take your mind out of it. You don't have to stand over a ball thinking about what could go wrong, and it's just a lot of fun.
Among his peers, Luther may not shoot the lowest score, but his unique style makes him one of the fastest.
Speed golf is about speed, so you want to carry the minimal amount of clubs. You can't have a full day lugging that around. Most guys carry 4 to 5 clubs. I use 2 clubs. 150 on in is my pitching wedge, 150 on out is the fairway wood.
So with just 2 clubs, Luther gave it a shot and decided to compete against the best speed golfers in the world. And lo and behold, he won the first competition he entered.
And I thought, I wonder if I could play with those guys. Even though I'm not a golfer, I was like, could I do this?
The answer was a resounding yes. Luther has competed in a dozen tournaments all throughout the country since 2019, winning 2 of them and consistently finishing in the top 5. It's become somewhat of a full-time hobby for the 47-year-old, a hobby he doesn't plan on giving up anytime soon.
Running out here 5-6 times a week when I'm 80, that'd be awesome. I'm gonna be a lot slower, I'm gonna be hitting a lot less, but to be able to do this sport until that time and to be in shape, that's what it's all about.
Luther is gearing up for the World Championships in St. Augustine, Florida. That event is less than 2 weeks away. Good luck to Luther. We'll definitely be cheering him on. That'll do it for the Blitz. We'll see you tonight.
Breaking overnight, the president of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, says his country will not participate in the G20 summit if Russian President Vladimir Putin attends. Although the Ukrainian president doesn't keep tabs on who goes or not, he made sure to address Ukraine's plans to skip the summit should Russia choose to attend it. On Thursday afternoon, FBI Newark tweeted that they received credible information of threats to synagogues in New Jersey and asked people to take security precautions to protect their community and facilities. There has been a rise in anti-Semitic incidents across the United States, according to the Anti-Defamation League, with over 2,700 in 2021 compared to 941 in 2015. Cops will be clamping down around the University of Minnesota the next 2 weekends. David Schumann shows us how campus police and Minneapolis officers are trying to keep students safe.
The last several weekends provided an unusual amount of activity that we wanted to step up and try to stop it before it got into going on a regular basis.
The unusual activity included multiple fireworks attacks this weekend that hurt at least 4 people, including this female student. So the University of Minnesota is bringing in more police the next 2 weekends. Up to 10 extra officers coming from campus police and MPD getting paid overtime.
It'll start, late afternoon, early evening, and go into the early morning. Part of our view is that more visible police presence will help deter criminal activity.
Jada Sherman lives near where the fireworks attack happened. She feels more police are a good start, but ultimately a drop in the ocean.
It's a temporary solution to a problem that's going to persist, and I don't really feel like there's been any kind of message sent to the people that are doing this that you will be held accountable.
Joe Birch also thinks more accountability is needed, but he does feel safer than he used to.
The emphasis on campus safety happened after last year, more so, and so it's occurring right now, so I feel like more stuff is going to be done.
I asked MPD if officers are going to be a part of this campus safety effort, what does that mean for the rest of the city these next 2 weekends? A spokesperson told me no officers will be pulled off their regular shifts. Up to 6 a day will volunteer to take the overtime and patrol these neighborhoods.
Well, the increase in police presence on campus comes as the university experienced firework attacks this past weekend. No arrests have been made related to those attacks. Well, it's one job many of us think would be pretty cool, but the state of hockey is experiencing a Zamboni driver shortage right now. At some Minnesota ice rinks, if upper management knows how to drive a Zamboni, then they have been stepping in to help fill that void. Like so many other jobs, COVID impacted the Zamboni workforce. One ice rink manager says attracting drivers isn't a problem, but retaining them is.
For them to actually be efficient and effective at it, it can take months before I would say that they're really decent at, good at it.
A lot of rinks are looking for full and part-time Zamboni drivers and arena workers. Many of the shifts are during nights and weekends, and the pay is from $15 to $17 an hour. There have been many incidents this year alone where a bicyclist or person walking gets hit by a car. One woman in Oregon, Wisconsin is pledging to help prevent more of these things from happening. Laura Beadal says she was driving down this road early one morning when she nearly hit a jogger who was wearing dark clothing. After a very close call, she was inspired to take action.
My son is a runner who was jogs out there, and I thought, oh my gosh, that could have been him. And I don't want it to be anybody's son or anybody's family member.
Laura plans to put a couple dozen reflective vests around town for people to use while walking, jogging, or biking. You may remember getting your library card or checked out for the first time, and a Jackson County community has been doing that for 150 years. News 8 Now's Dua Israr was at Black River Falls, where library staff were getting ready to celebrate.
Inside the walls of a library, stories come alive.
I just have so many good memories.
For the community of Black River Falls, the biggest story in the library is about the library.
That says it all.
In 1872, Wisconsin passed a bill stating libraries would be established by a body of government, be free, and financially supported by taxes.
As a result of that, Black River Falls was the first library that applied for that status,
creating the first public library in the state.
This public library is one of the #1 benefits of living in Jackson County.
Joan Zenz has been a member of the Black River Falls community for more than 40 years.
Probably used the library for almost all those years.
Over the years, the library grew.
I remember, first going and, they had the little kids section.
And in 1995, moved into its current building in downtown.
So now being able to help sponsor those as an adult and make sure those kinds of things still happen is just very exciting.
On Sunday, the library will celebrate its 150th year.
So there's just been progress ever since.
Historian Mary Woods says libraries are home to everyone.
Children's area and the adults, the teenage area books, the history room. I hope they come in here and they leave with what they want to find.
Woods believes libraries will always be a part of their community.
People like to look at a book, they want the feel of a book, and somebody said once, have you ever noticed how good a new book smells?
For 150 years and more. Reporting in Black River Falls, Dua Israr, News 8 Now.
Thanks a lot, Dua. And again, that celebration is Sunday from 1 to 3 o'clock. Well, everyone loves a good love story, especially one that involved fated meetings. UW La Crosse will present its performance, The Last Train to Nebrock, today and tomorrow. The Last Train to Nebrock is a simple, honest, and genuine play about a young man and woman who meet on a train at the beginning of World War II. And even though their life story was long ago, the director believes that it still connects with today's modern experience.
One of the ways the play resonates is that we are emerging from a global pandemic and a great catastrophe of sorts. The play is deeply resonant on that level. We can connect with these characters and what they're going through.
Tickets are available for you to purchase at the box office. in the Center for the Arts. Box office hours are Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 in the afternoon and 1 hour prior to each performance.
Well, good morning, everyone. Sure are waking up to some wet conditions, especially those of you listening now across our central locations into Jackson County, west into Trempealeau and Buffalo County as well, looking at some scattered rain showers. But some heavier rain here currently exists in areas like Winona County, south into Fillmore, and also into Houston County. These showers are moving towards the east. And watch out for a couple of embedded thunderstorms here, too, especially if you are in northeastern Iowa here this morning in the Decorah area, looking at some rain here moving through. And that rain will continue to spread its way east across much of the Coulee region throughout the day. If you're not looking at rain now, you are just looking very cloudy. Current temperature readings are at 59 in Sparta, 53 Black River Falls, 46 in both Eau Claire and in Winona. It's currently 53, though, if you are in La Crosse. Today's forecast, very wet, lots of rain, 51 degrees and much cooler. Northwest winds at 10 to 15. For tonight, very wet as well. Rain continues to come down, 44, and it could turn heavy at times, too, with a north-northeast wind. Here's a look at the drivecast. Watch out for some wet roadways here this morning. That rain will continue for the lunch hour and also well into the evening as well. I'll have another check on the forecast still to come. Jordan?
Thanks a lot, Derek. A judge dismissed theft charges on the late Stan Lee's former manager. We'll explain why in our Buzz Report after the break. It is 19 to the top of the hour. We'll be right back right after this.
Well, good morning. Sure is a pretty wet morning, though, for portions of the viewing area, especially central, where we are looking at some scattered rain showers spreading east across portions of Jackson County. We're also looking at Trempealeau and Buffalo County here, too, looking at some wet conditions. And some very heavy rain is coming down in portions of Winona County and also south here into portions of Fillmore, as well as Houston County as well. And again, this is all moving towards the east. So now we're looking at Winneshiek County, too. Decorah looking at some rain here that continues to fall in your neighborhood. If you're not looking at rain yet, don't worry, you will soon, because there's plenty more back towards the west that we're currently watching, and also very cloudy weather conditions for those of us that are not seeing a drop of rain here just yet. Looking at a cold front that continues to move across the Coulee region, that front is going to be responsible for really bringing us some cooler temperatures. And when we have this kind of setup here, we have a front here at the surface combined with a pretty strong upper level trough in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We are looking at a pretty wet setup here for us to work with, and you can see lots of moisture here. This is what we call kind of a moisture transport. Lots of very strong upper level conditions favoring very wet conditions that continue moving in across the upper Midwest. And as long as that setup here is in place, it's going to get pretty wet here across the Coulee region. 53 degrees is the current condition now in La Crosse as far as that temperature goes. Northwest winds at around 9 miles an hour. And current conditions in Eau Claire looking cloudy. We did see some rain here early. Looks like that has begun to settle down, getting a bit of a break now. 46 degrees the temperature. It's 58 now in Viroqua, 59 just shy of 60 in Sparta, looking at 53 in Black River Falls, and 45 the temperature now in Winona. So you can see that cooler air back towards the west, and we will continue to drop down into the 40s throughout the day, with rain showers becoming very likely, especially this afternoon. And you can see all that rain continues to move north across the Coulee region here throughout the day today. And yes, it's very possible that some of this rain could even turn heavy at times here too, especially tonight. So that's what we're thinking, where some of that heavy rainfall will move in from the south, with that low pressure system to the south moving north, spreading all the activity north across the Coulee region. We will be looking at some showers here throughout the early afternoon hours tomorrow. And once that low pulls north, that's when most of that rain here will settle down, and we'll just be looking at mainly cloudy weather conditions in the wake of all that rain come later in the day tomorrow, more so towards the evening hours when that rain does begin to finally settle down. Rainfall totals between around 1 to 2 inches, with locally higher totals also possible. In fact, we could be very close to that 3-inch mark in many spots, especially mainly south and central here. So we'll keep our eyes on that potential. But really, no matter where you are, you will be looking at some heavy rainfall here moving in, which could cause some localized street flooding here as well. So something to keep our eyes on. Looking at Sunday, will be partly cloudy. Don't forget, we also fall back 1 hour, so make sure to change your clocks backwards. We'll be looking at 50 degrees and partly cloudy for Monday, followed by cloudy skies for Election Day, and those cloudy weather conditions last into Wednesday, and maybe even some scattered shower activity again Thursday. The same could be said here for Friday.
In our Buzz Report this morning, Los Angeles judge dismissed theft charges against Stan Lee's former manager. Kia Morgan had been charged with 3 counts of grand theft. Tuesday, a judge dismissed those charges and declared a mistrial. Prosecutors allege Morgan stole more than $200,000 from memorabilia sales before Lee's death. The Marvel Comics pioneer passed away in 2018 at the age of 95 with an estate worth more than $50 million. Reba McEntire is temporarily stepping away from her tour. Wednesday, the country singer announced she is rescheduling 3 concerts slated for this weekend in Columbus, Ohio, Raleigh, North Carolina, and Indianapolis. McEntire says she is going on a vocal rest after her doctor advised her to take some time to take care of her voice. The tour will still honor previously purchased tickets. The shows will be rescheduled to take place in December. Anna Faris and Toni Collette are 2 scheming relatives kissing up to dying matriarch Kathleen Turner in The Estate. Faris' first film after the COVID shutdown, The Estate opens in theaters this weekend. We are sending you to break with a look at who is turning 8 this Friday morning.
That's right. We want to wish a happy 8 months to Bennett. Bennett is a happy young boy who loves playing with his brothers. Happy birthday, Bennett.
I love the photo of Bennett. Happy 8th birthday this morning to Evelyn. Evelyn is a sweet girl who enjoys swimming and gymnastics.
And happy 8th birthday to Mason. Mason is a future farmer at heart who knows all things tractor and cow related, as you can see right there in his picture.
Evidence in the photo. If you know a special someone turning 8 months, 8 years, 18, 80 years old, or 88 years old soon, we'd love to feature them.
Yeah, just upload their photo to our website. It's news8000.com, and you want to look for the Submit Pictures button. That's under the Home tab on our website.
Well, we hope you can stay with us. We got your latest forecast along with everything you need to know this morning. In 5 minutes or less, your Morning News Now is up next. Your Morning News Now on this Friday. In 1872, Wisconsin passed a bill stating public libraries would be established by a body of government, be free and financially supported by taxes. Black River Falls was the first community to apply for that status, creating the first public library in the state. On Sunday, the library will celebrate its 150th year. Historian Mary Wood says libraries are meant to be used by everyone in the community.
Children's area and the adults, the teenage area books, the history room. I hope they come in here and they leave with what they want to find.
Over the years, the library grew bigger than its building. In 1995, it moved to its current building in downtown. Sunday's celebrations will include a history lesson, snacks, and of course, many books. Firearm deer season is just around the corner, and Wisconsin DNR officials are offering safety reminders before the hunt. Conservation wardens say it's important for hunters to treat every gun like it's loaded and to double check it's clean and clear of any mechanical wear. They say visibility is also crucial.
Hunters must wear at least 50% of their outer clothing above the waist in color orange or fluorescent pink.
That rule also applies to headwear. Firearm deer hunting season starts November 19th and runs through the 27th. Wilson also asks that you make sure to get permits worked out before heading out and to watch out for no trespassing signs.
Good rain chances all throughout the day starting this morning. In fact, we can start to see some raindrops there from CityCam 8 in the background. So rain likely continues throughout the day with good chances of some street flooding too, and much cooler afternoon temperatures.
A local nonprofit is helping La Crosse kids put their culinary creativity to the test. Grow has launched its 5th annual Kids Cooking Challenge. Kids 18 and under prepare a dish using a bag of mystery ingredients grown right here in La Crosse. Those kids picked up their mystery ingredient bags on Thursday. There are beginner and advanced groups for this challenge, so ingredients get a little trickier for the advanced groups, but the goal is to have fun while engaging with healthy produce.
We just like to get hands-on experience, get the kids and families really involved with healthy ingredients and food and produce and nature.
What are you going to make with that?
All of the ingredients in the bag and up to 5 outside ingredients. Participants have until midnight Sunday to complete their dish by themselves. Students at Western Technical College will help decide the winners between the beginner and advanced groups on November 11th.
And as you head out the door, pack that rain poncho and umbrella with you. You will need it throughout the day if you're going to be out and about because it will be pretty wet. Looking at some breezy conditions, which could make some horizontal rain, but yeah, some heavy downpours possible throughout the day today, Jordan, with some cooler temperatures too.
Got plans this weekend on Saturday? Need to have the umbrella as well?
I would think so, at least up into the evening.
Going to the Badger game, so
okay,
might have some rain.
Might not a bad idea to pack it.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we want to thank you so much for your time this week. Don't forget to keep up with the news of the day at news8000.com, and we'll have the latest coming up this afternoon on News 8 Now at noon. We hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you right back here on Monday at 5 a.m. CBS Mornings follows us here, and we hope you have a great day.